Hey everybody, Todd and Oana here. We are in casual mode today. As you can see, I'm wearing my Naval Academy sweater. It's kind of a cool day here in Vegas and we're chilling. But what we thought we'd do is something really super fun. So most of our videos are about the real estate market or about specific things about real estate. But we thought we'd do a video about horror stories, either the buyer or the real estate agent. Most of you are aware, we've sold over 3,000 houses between us, mostly listings. Another 8,000 with our agent. So we've seen a lot of stuff, okay? So on this video, we picked out 4 things that we think are standout ones, but we've actually got a ton of them. We're gonna make more videos, but we only want to put 4 of them in this video. So if you want to see the other ones, you have to subscribe and notification bell and all that to get notified when we make those videos. All right, so Wanda, you're gonna do the first one.
Okay, so the first one is a fun one. As it happens sometimes, there are multiple homes listed on the same street with the same street name, right? So that's what happened to us, is we got an offer on one of my listings and the offer was accepted by the seller and everything is good. The buyer and the buyer's agent have seen the property, at least that's what we were told, and then they go and they do the home inspection. And we're getting ready to close, and the buyer and the buyer's agent go to do the walkthrough, which is that final inspection before you close escrow. And the buyer's agent calls frantically saying, hey, there's somebody moving into the house. And we don't know anything about this. We go over there to go check it out. We go and the house is vacant. There's no one there. There's nothing going on. So we don't understand what he's talking about. So we give him a call from the property and say, hey, you know what? We're here. There's nothing going on. The property's vacant. There's nobody here. Well, come to find out, he wrote an offer on our house, but they meant to buy a different house. And that's where people were moving into. So now he is in big trouble because the offer was accepted on our house. This was a big earnest money deposit. It was a $10,000 earnest money deposit. And it was a cash transaction, so they couldn't get out of the deal and get their money back based on financing because it was all cash. There were no contingencies. Like I said, they've already done the home inspection, everything's fine, and we were getting ready to close. So this buyer's agent is frantic. His buyers are threatening to sue him. You know, it's just all a mess. The bottom line is, whether you're a buyer or a buyer's agent, make sure that whatever it says on that purchase agreement is actually the house that you want to buy. Not just the street name, but the actual address that you want to buy. Verify the tax ID on the property and on the purchase agreement, because all of those reflected the property that I had listed, but they wanted to buy a completely different property.
Yeah, the agent had actually shown both houses, and then when they said, we want to buy this house, and he wrote up the deal, he took our MLS sheet, he had the wrong one. He put our address, our tax number for our, we didn't know, we thought they were buying our house. We're like, oh, they want to buy the house. It was one of our listings. So the buyer agent made a huge mistake, and it was not a beginning agent.
No, so this agent had been doing business for over 2 decades. And remember, the home inspection that the buyer paid for, no one along the way ever caught this, that they were going to the wrong address. So they inspected the property they wanted to buy, not the one that they were actually buying. They did not want to buy the one that they were actually buying. They wanted to buy the other property that they inspected, but they never wrote the offer on the other property.
All right. The second one of 4, we got 4 of them. Okay, the second one is, buyer, who's an investor, goes to the trustee sale where you get smoking deals on properties with cash. And he takes his cashier's checks, and this $300,000 house comes up and he bids on it. He gets it for $80,000. He buys a $300,000 house for 80 grand. He goes to the house, he gets it rekeyed, he goes in there, he starts doing repairs, he puts in flooring, he puts in new kitchen stuff, he gets paint and carpet done. He's gonna flip the house and make a couple $100 grand, right? Well, about 3 weeks later, he's out in front and they're putting landscaping in. They're putting like grass out in front. Guy shows up at the curb and goes, hey, what are you doing here? This is my house. He goes, no, it's my house. I bought it at the trustee sale 3 weeks ago. The guy at the curb says, no, I just bought the house at the trustee sale. Like just now, I'm just coming here to take over. He goes, what are you talking about? You can't buy it. I already bought it. Well, the first guy did buy it and the second guy bought it. But the difference was the first guy bought the second deed of trust, which is wiped out, and the ownership of that is wiped out when the first closes on top of it. So he did for 3 weeks. He paid $80,000 to own a house for 3 weeks, because when the first close, his legal ownership is gone. He has no recourse.
Right.
And
so,
guess what? He doesn't get the 80 grand back.
No, he doesn't. So he spent between the $80,000 and the improvements that he made. He was probably out close to $100,000, and a very expensive lesson.
Yeah. All right. The third one.
Okay. So we do, we have closed a lot of transactions, and there have been some pretty big no-nos that buyers have done. So my all-time favorite one is we had a buyer, and he went through the whole process. He even signed his loan documents at escrow.
Real quick, this is not our buyer; it's our listing.
It's our listing.
It's
yes.
the other agent's client.
Yes. Yes. So this buyer goes and he signs his loan documents at escrow. He is so happy. He gets back to his job, and he's having a bad day at work, and he's just tells his boss, "You know what? I'm out of here." He quits his job. Well, the next day, the lender does his final verification. He pulls credit and he verifies employment. And guess what that employer says? "Sorry, Mr. Buyer no longer works here." So now Mr. Buyer is Mr. Renter, because he doesn't get the house, he no longer qualifies for the loan, and it ends up being a very sad story for him. And there are other similar stories. So we have one with somebody who kind of along the same lines, very excited about buying a new house, and he thought that, we know what would go really well with that new house? A brand new F-150 truck.
With a payment of $500 a month payment.
Yes. So again, prior to closing, the lender pulls credit, and his debt to ratio is all wrong now. So he owes a lot of money, he's got a lot of payments to make, and he no longer qualifies for that mortgage payment.
Yep. Payments are out of line.
Yes.
What else?
So the other ones are kind of, again, along the same lines. We've had buyers who went out and to take advantage of, Memorial Day sale. They bought all new appliances for the house before they close on the house. And of course, they bought the appliances on credit, and that reflects on their debt to income ratio when the lender goes to pull it one last time and they don't qualify for the loan anymore. The buyer's story was that, but the appliances weren't going to be delivered until after close of escrow, so they didn't understand why they showed up on their credit.
Okay.
And then another one that we had was, of course, they're buying this beautiful house and they want all new furniture. Same kind of story. They buy the furniture on credit. Their debt to income ratio is wrong. They no longer qualify for the loan. They don't get the house.
Wait till after closing.
Moral of the story is, please, thou shalt not buy anything on credit before close of escrow.
Okay, the fourth one, the very last one for this video. It's a good one. So, buyer investor is trying to buy this fourplex. It's a short sale. It's a really good price. He's going to make a ton of money. It's in a not a great part of town. We'll just say it's in depressed price area of town. It's a short sale, but doesn't end up closing because it gets foreclosed during the negotiation of the short sale. But he's bird dogging this thing for months. He sees it's going back to a lender. The lender gives it to an asset management company. Asset management company assigns it to me. We go through all our stuff on the thing, and eventually it hits the MLS. The second it hits the MLS, he goes to his agent that he's working with to buy properties and says, "Okay, I've been waiting on this house for months. I want this thing. It's listed for $40,000. It's a fourplex. It's $40,000. It's listed for 4-unit thing, right? House across the street that was another one of my listings sold for $12,500 just like a month before. So it gives you an idea of the values and home prices in the area at the time. Agent writes up the offer. He wants a good offer, so he says send him 44. Because I want to make sure we get this thing, or we're in first line for a counter offer, right? He says, "Oh, by the way, there's this other house I want to buy too. This other house over here, we're going to make an offer on it, and we'll send that one out too." He signs both offers. They both go out, okay? So all of a sudden, cut to us in the office. We put this thing in the MLS, and first day we get 2 offers. One of them's for $40,000, one of them's for a little less. I think it was $37 or something. We send them into the asset manager. asset manager looks and goes, hey, I really like this cash offer for $40,000. It's list price. I'm going to get my bonus for the month. It's a great deal. For me, it's great for the seller. The client's going to be happy. He's getting it sold. We're moving forward. He signs it. Boom, we're under contract now. Buyer's got the house. It's a contract. It's signed, right? Well, while this was going on, we got this other offer for a house that we didn't have listed. We actually, at the time, we had about 260 active listings. And so we're getting offers on different properties. We had a whole team of people. I actually had 4 people doing nothing but grabbing the offers, making sure they go to the right people, and everyone's looking at the proper offers that get submitted quickly. And we just sent it back to the agent. I think we even sent it to the other agent. We said, hey, look, someone sent us an offer on your listing, so we kind of like faxed it to them, right? Well, I think it was the next day after we got everything signed back, the agent calls us and says, oh my God, I made a mistake. I wrote 2 offers, but I sent your offer to some other agent, and I sent you his offer. I'm like, dude, we can't do anything about it. We didn't know you were going to write an offer. You wrote it, but you didn't send it to us. You sent it to the wrong person. I called the asset manager. He said, nope, we're under contract. Like the buyer, I can't throw the buyer out. Like the buyer's, he's in there. We're not going to throw him out just because this other guy decides he wants to pay a little more for it. Well, the agent was very upset because the agent said his client was like going to sue him because he made a mistake. He sent the offer for our listing to the wrong agent.
Right.
Which is pretty bad. If you're an agent, it's a pretty scary thing to screw up something that bad.
Right.
Just like your first story,
Yes.
where the agent wrote the wrong address and then sent it to us, but it was our listing he was trying to buy, but they were actually trying to buy the house across the street.
Right.
Okay?
So the moral of the story is make sure that the offer goes with the right property, with the right agent, that you don't buy things while you're in escrow. And if you had fun listening to our stories, please subscribe. Please hit the notification bell. Please leave us comments. We'd love to respond to your comments.
All right, that's it for today's video. Thanks for watching.